In the Novine universe, the Chome, or whatever nickname this guy receives, is a 22-year-old grown man who seems incredibly unassuming at first glance, reenacting WWE walkouts or even wearing diapers at his grown age. You wouldn't expect this man to be capable of much. However, if you look beneath the surface, you'll find an eternal abyss of unending degeneracies and predatory behaviors. But today, you see Gabriel himself is under attack, and he's scrambling to keep his TikTok from going down. Whether this be divine intervention for some past wrongdoings or just a fellow wasting their own time, who knows, but let's get after it, fellas. So over the course of the past couple days, Nova has been seeing an absurd amount of favorites on all of his videos that he's been uploading. And if you're not familiar with favorites or TikTok in general, favorites are kind of like a bookmark that you can save a video to rewatch for later or maybe to show some friends later who don't have TikTok. But typically, the amount of likes on a video would far outshine the amount of favorites on them because liking's a lot easier. You just double tap to like. But you see, that's been completely turned around in about 10 videos Nova's posted, where his favorites will lie anywhere between 5x to 25x in some cases the amount of likes. And the general consensus when something like that happens is that engagement is artificial or it's a whole bunch of bots that someone probably paid for. Now, when a platform like TikTok detects a whole bunch of artificial engagement, you could say in a way it penalizes you for that, or it would show the video to a whole lot less people than it otherwise would. Because by doing this, you're messing up the data. How's it supposed to know if anyone's actually going to like this video? So it can't trust you. And on many platforms, that's against terms of service and also grounds for your account getting deleted entirely. And you see Gabriel, to some extent, understands this, so he'd make this post on his second account go, "People are engagement baiting my main account. This is so frustrating." But shortly after that, things would get beyond frustrating. He'd start to get a little afraid of losing his main account, so he'd make this post saying, "I'm afraid my main account will get banned. If you're here for my main, follow this account to keep up." Because with this guy, TikTok is his life. What is he going to do with his free time other than doom scroll on TikTok and make amazing quality content for all the Nova stars out there? Or, of course, how is he going to excuse all the absurd amounts of fast food that he buys if it's not for his food reviews? Either way, Big Man started freaking out, and it's pretty evident here in this TikTok he made.
Hey y'all, I'm sorry, I had to make this video, right now. Fuckers are spam engagement my account buying fake saves. So, hey, follow my backup, please. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you.
And what's fairly evident, especially with this TikTok and the inflection in his voice while he's talking about, oh, you guys gotta follow this account just in case. From this, just the prospect of him maybe losing his TikTok due to this has him nearly to tears. And just going through the line in order of all the TikToks that were seemingly attacked by this person buying TikTok saves, we have the first one with 1,500 likes and 5,700 saves. The next with 2,600 likes but 5,800 saves. A third with a much larger gap of only 600 likes but still 5,600 saves. Then a bigger gap again with 100 likes but still 5,500 saves. And that's when, in the midst of the attack, Nova would post on his main page, "I'm so frustrated right now." And I think this would kind of egg on the person who is buying all this fake engagement in the hopes that his channel gets taken down, his TikTok gets taken down. Because the following TikTok with only 100 likes would now get 10,000 saves, each time now upping the ante with the next one having 15,000 saves. Which I hope whoever was doing this got whatever they wanted out of this, because I'd have to call this a big waste of money. Because when you add up all the fake engagement that the Chome got and then look at some of the popular sites where people buy fake engagement like that, which is roughly $20 per 10,000 saves, this person spent about $126, $125 just to bother the Chome. I get it. Maybe they're coming from a noble cause, a noble place. They want the Chome off the platform because he probably shouldn't be on a platform where there's so many kids that he has free access to 24/7. However, the fact it's probably not him buying the fake engagement means that he can get his account reinstated once he proves that it wasn't him. So even if this got his account taken down, it would all be for nothing. Those $100 that you spent were totally wasted at the end of the day. Especially when you consider you could mic up like this totally for free and do just as much bothering as you would have done buying that bot engagement. But anyways, Nova and his TikTok unfortunately survived this attack that someone attempted on him and his page. But you see, unfortunately, Nova isn't the only one getting attacked right now, this time being over on Twitter. Bloodspeth, Nova's #1 op, the one he's given a nickname to, that being Fakespeth, and wrote his name on that hit list he had in red and underlined in red. Nova truly hates this guy with every fiber of his being, and that's probably because he's done the most damage, you could say, with bringing the truth to light when it comes to Nova, his degeneracies, and talking to people under the age of 18. But for Grubspeth, for reasons that are kind of up in the air right now, his Twitter would go down, and given Gabriel Gage's known history of sending out false copyright strikes like no tomorrow, a lot of people started pointing the fingers to the chom, and he really did no help for himself when he made this post here on Twitter, saying, "Rest in pith, Fakespeth's X account," with a whole bunch of laughing emojis saying, "It won't be missed, elbow though." Just making himself incredibly guilty there, and so many people were calling him out on how this was probably him filing some sort of false report or some sort of false copyright just because he hates Fakespeth. He immediately clarified, which didn't make him any less guilty, saying, "And no, it wasn't me that got it banned." Which, on one hand, Nova, he's so incredibly full of himself, he'd probably be screaming from the hilltops that it was him who finally took down Fakespeth on X, if it was him. But then, you don't know if he's got some weird UTTP bozo in his ear telling him, "Oh, you probably shouldn't be saying that you were the one who reported Fakespeth." Either way, even if the chom wasn't the mastermind behind the banning, it still made him look incredibly guilty the way he posted that. Twitter, it can be a pretty degenerate place, but one thing I absolutely love about it as a platform are the community notes. And Nova, you see, Nova would fall victim to one of those too, with readers adding context under this post of him gloating about Fakespeth's X account getting taken down, saying, "Gabriel Gage, also known as Nova Online, operates this account. He's been accused of grooming several minors and has documented visits from the police over the risk he's posed to them and people who highlight his behavior, along with documented sources of that information," which of course leads to the Nova files. And again, the reason why the community was so suspicious of Nova when it came to X taking away Blood's account is the fact that he is so incredibly used to filing false copyright strikes, abusing the system, reporting people without reason. He does this shit all the time, and it's been kind of a crusade that he's been having or running against a whole bunch of YouTubers who do nothing but spread the truth about what Gabriel gets up to. One such creator that he's been plotting against, highlighted on the Chom Vine hit list, would be McGrubba or me. And recently, one of the videos that I made about someone that he knew really made him unhappy, to the point where he decided he was going to try to coax them into helping him file a false copyright strike or DMCA takedown request on my video. Highlighted with this situation here with this person going, "I hope so, my state is out there as well." Nova goes, "It won't. It's fine. It's just annoying. I just don't want my Etsy shop getting taken down. He's a fucking piece of shit. Sorry about McGrubba." Then them further speaking about my video in these DMs going, "Yeah, you asking for it to get deleted isn't gonna work. Did he use copyrighted content? He posted my Etsy and Depop shop." And then Nova goes, "'Cause if so, I might be able to get it taken down like I did with Jin." That's not how copyright works, Nova. And no, that's not how copyright works at all, Nova. I don't even know how much I actually referenced him in that video. But of course, old McGrubba wasn't the only victim of Nova's crimes. He of course actually got a couple videos taken down on the Chin Universe's channel, a channel that edits and transforms greatly Nova's content to actually make it watchable, because in its raw state, especially his live streams, they're borderline unwatchable. And all of his videos fall under fair use, but Nova doesn't care about that. He probably doesn't even understand the true definition of what fair use is. He would file a DMCA takedown on 3 of the Chin Universe's videos, and the automated system at YouTube would immediately take them down. And you see, a lot of the time, unfortunately, that is just what YouTube does, and you never really get a real human to go look at it. But Chin would thankfully beat the case. He's still around, and in fact, he let YouTube know that Nova's been going around abusing their system, and just wanted to make sure they knew the type of predator that they were supporting by having him on their platform. With this post here going, "Hey, at Team YouTube, this guy, Nova Gage, has once again been outed for threatening to use the DMCA copy strike system against people who speak against him on your platform. He tried to take my channel down this way once and doxed a friend of mine on Twitch a few days ago." To which Team YouTube replied promptly with, "Hi, we definitely want our community to help flag inappropriate content to ensure YouTube is a safe place for everyone. If you come across something that you think violates YouTube policies, you can report it by following these steps dropping a link with more information going, also, YouTube can't mediate any copyright disputes. When someone files a copyright removal request, we take the steps that comply with the law. If you have questions about its validity, we can encourage discussing with your own counsel. Note that we look into misuse of the copyright tools and web forms to prevent abuse. Creators have the option to dispute/appeal claims or submit a counter notification, and once that's processed, we investigate for abuse. So now, not only is YouTube aware of the abuse that took place when he was trying to take down Chin's channel, but also this screenshot here where he threatens Purity Sin, going, "You try to hurt me, I'll make sure you get striked," instead of struck, because he doesn't know the past tense of strike. But he goes, "And it would be fair," because God forbid you speak out against the Chome and the disgusting things he gets up to on the internet. Because don't you know, they teach you this at school, police officers say it all the time, they say, see something, don't say something. Well, unfortunately, Gabriel, that's not how real life works. I know he's been sheltered and rarely ever told no in his trailer home for the entirety of his life, and now that his uncle is out of the picture and the aunt rarely visits, he really never hears the word no. So when you tell him, hey Nova, no, you cannot talk to people who are under the age of 18 on Discord inappropriately while you're wearing a diaper, of course he's going to try to break terms of service to try to get you taken down and silence you. And when he is successful with that, even briefly, like here when he's gloating after he got Chin struck, when he went, Chin got copyright striked. I mean, you just really got to be grateful for people like Chin for using their platform in order to notify places like YouTube the types of people that are allowed to be on their platform right now. Because with the way it's looking, time is running out for Gabriel on YouTube as a platform for him. So the fact he had that fake engagement scare where his TikTok account was on the line, Gabriel might lose everything. And well, one can only hope. Well, if you made it all the way through this video, I really appreciate you guys staying for the long run. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like it and hype it up. And if you want to see more, of course, that subscribe button is always there. I want to give a huge thanks to all my grubbas and an even bigger one to all my Pure Grub members. Until we have more on the Chome. Later, grubbas.
Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder where you are.